Hi everyone, welcome to Secret Sudoku. This is the place where we play Sudoku and I share some secrets with you that I've learned along the way. This is really for people who want to up their games. We are going to do the hard puzzle with the New York Times for February 26, 2026. All right. With New York Times, I always like to do auto candidate mode. Now, for those of you who think that this is cheating, I promise you it is not. I think no matter what, you would get to this point anyway where you're going to see all the numbers, and I promise you this is not really giving anything away. So I'm going to walk you through how I play, some of the techniques that I like to use, kind of what to look for if you want to start leveling up your game. So the first thing that we're going to do is what I call the low-hanging fruit, the obvious ones, the giveaways. So anytime you see a single number, take it. Take it. There's no reason not to. All right, so we got those out of the way. Now, what I like to do first is what I call go up the line and go down the line. And what I mean by that is we're going to go 1 to 9 and then 9 to 1. And we're looking for something very specific, and that is either ors. So I will show you what I'm talking about when I find them. So basically, every number, just take your eyes, kind of go across the row, up and down the column, just to see what's possible. And what we're looking for is a situation. Let me find one. Give me a second. No, not with the 2. Not with the 3. We're looking for either this, where there's only one option. So in this square, this is actually the only 3. So we know that's a 3 because it's the only one. But another thing we're looking for is when one square actually is going to help you remove options from another square. And this is a very particular, it has a particular look to it. So let me find one. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, look, we got a 5. Take it. Okay, here's one. So if we look at this square, 5 can't go here, and 5 can't go here. So we know 5 is going to go here or here, either here or here. However, now if we're going to follow this row, we see the 5 is over here. We know that actually is not going to be a 5 because it has to go here or here. So that is what we're looking for, kind of this first time through. And this might seem like silly to do. I promise you, this is how you're going to solve these puzzles. Okay, 6. 6 can go here or here. So it's not going to be a 6 here, not going to be a 6 here. Either ors. 7. And obviously you can't see my eyes, but I am very quickly, every time, I'm just kind of like quickly looking here, looking here, looking here, looking here. Constantly like cross-checking. Oh, I need to go to 8. Constantly cross-checking. Get very good at making like lines with your eyes. Okay, here's a good one. This square has been very good to me. So 9 can't go here, 9 can't go here. We know 9 has to go here, here, but interesting, if you remember, this is also the only place the 5 can go. So we know that in these 2 squares, this is actually only going to be a 5 or a 9. And it's funny, I think with Sudoku, once you see it once, you're like, oh yeah, I see that now. That was the only one with the 5, that was the only one with the 9. But it's actually kind of hard to see if you don't know what you're looking for. And that's why I like to just focus on one number at a time. I think it makes it a lot easier to like pay attention. Okay, so going across the row, we're going to remove the 9s because we know this has to be the 9 down here. So 9 can't go anywhere else over here. And the reason I like to do this kind of twice, go up the line and down the line, so 1 to 9 and 9 to 1, is I always miss things, number one. And number two, even just getting like one new one, it might open up something that you didn't see the first time. The puzzle is constantly changing, and I think that that's why it's really important to just keep checking things, keep like having a new task that you're gonna look to do. I think if you're looking aimlessly, that's where puzzles get really, really challenging. Okay, wow, this is my favorite square right now. So, with the 6, one thing that I'm immediately seeing is this is the only square that even has a 6. No 6, no 6, no 6. We know that's 5, 9. So we got a 6. Now we know 6 will go here or here, which makes sense because it can obviously only go in one row. Any others? 7. Wait, I'm going down. Oh my gosh. 5. 4. And you might be seeing things right now that you are yelling at me for. That's fine. That's good. This is just how I like to play, and I think things will click in my brain at different times than it might click in your brain. That's the beauty of the game. Also, it's great because, as we know, there's only one right answer to each puzzle. So no matter what, we're all gonna get there. Doesn't really matter how we get there. 2. And 1. And I'm still just looking for those either ors where I can remove numbers. Okay, I think that is good for our first pass. So now the next thing we're going to do is remember 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1, we are looking for either 3 of a kind, pairs, or the one and only. So 3 of a kind is when in 3 squares there can only go 3 numbers. So if we look right here, these 3, you'll see that this can only be a 5, 7, or 8. And this is great. This is exactly what we want to see. So now we can start removing. So we know 5, 7, 8 are going here. That's not a 7. It's not a 7 or an 8. Not a 7 or an 8. We can also take that all the way across the row. So we know that's not a 7 or an 8. Not an 8. Not a 7 or an 8. Now, look at this. We're going to get a bunch from that. That's really, really good. Okay. Anything else? No. Now remember 3, 2, 1. So we just saw 3. A pair looks like this, 5, 9, 5, 9. Let's say this was just a 1, 2. We would know that's 1 or 2, 1 or 2. The other thing is the one and only. And so what I'm talking about with that is when you find that only one number can go in one place for a row or a column. So here, if you look at the column, technically a 4 can go here or here. But if you look at the row, this is the only square that can have a 4. So we know that's a 4. These I think are a little bit harder to see sometimes, and that's why I kind of give myself a task of like, okay, I'm looking for 3 of a kind, I'm looking for pairs, or I'm looking for 1 of a kind, where I literally just kind of go row by row or column by column, and I kind of have to compare numbers. So it can take a little while, but once you find one, like you saw, it usually will unlock other things. So it's great to see. Okay, now again, anytime I see one that's obvious, I'm going to take it. Okay. So now I'm just going to take maybe a couple minutes, start looking around. Again, here we go. Looking for pairs, looking for 3 of a kind, or looking for the one and only. Just found a pair. Remember I said this before? I called it 1, 2, 1, 2. That's not a 2, so it's the 7. Love that. Okay, anything else jumping out at me? Okay, so this square and these two, this one and this one, are probably good until we solve the puzzle. Usually once you get it down to this, actually this one too, this entire top row, um, there's not much more we can do with these until the bottom of the puzzle starts to solve. So really I'm going to just actually not pay attention to this top row. I'm going to work my way down because I think anytime you see this many numbers still, there's probably something that you're missing. And actually, I am missing something. So we know that this is the 1 or 2. So we need to clean up the 2 down there. Quick and simple, but I don't want to forget that. Okay. Now I'm going to do another pass, see if I see any other pairs, 3 of a kind, or 1 and only. And sometimes, and what I might actually do is I'm going to go up the line again. So I'm just going to go 1 to 9, taking a moment to really just look at the ones. Or really looking at each number. Oh, see that? Over here, that is the only one possible in this square. But I think sometimes when you're looking at it, like without a plan, that's hard to find. But once you just focus on one number, usually it pops. And actually, we now know that is going to be the 7 because if you look here, there's no other 7. So we got a 7. And usually in a situation like this, when I get the 1, I'll quickly just do a check to see if that unlocked anything new with that number. So I quickly just looked at the 7s, and we know that the 7s didn't really change down there. Okay. Let's look at 2s. And again, I'm still kind of looking to see about that either or. 2 here, just make sure the only 2s can go up here, which is something we just did. Oh, no, wait, never mind. I thought I saw something. I didn't. Okay, 3s. Usually when I do this, it'll be the 9 where I see something. It takes the whole time. And honestly, sometimes I get so like lost doing this. It's almost like reading a book where you read a chapter and you like forget what you read. That happens to me all the time where I am clicking buttons and I'm like, wait a minute, I lost my train of thought and I literally have to do it again. So sometimes that has happened. But I did just find something. All right, so this square over here, the 9 has to go here, here. So because of that, we know that is not the 9. But doing that just opened up this as the 9, because this is now the only spot that has a 9. Told you it was going to be the 9. I'm calling things. That's funny. Okay. Anything else for 9? I think 9 is good, so we're going to go back down. 8. And I think, it's funny, when I started doing this, I used to think that people, like that I was missing things, that you just look at a Sudoku puzzle once and you're like, oh, okay, like, here's the obvious answer, here's the obvious number for the square. But as it gets harder and you get to these levels, I found like this is really how it goes. It's just layered, it's slow. You just kind of find one thing at a time and you never know what that one thing is going to unlock. I feel like I'm missing something with 4. I don't know. 4 feels like I'm missing something. 3. It's so funny. Once you find it, like whatever the next thing is, the next move, the next opening, you're like, oh, of course. But like after a while, you've been staring at it for so long that, yeah, sometimes you just get lost in it. And then when you see it, you're like, how did I miss that? That's why I've tried to give myself like these tasks of like, okay, only look at ones, only pay attention to ones, only pay attention to twos. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the 3, 2, 1. Make sure we're not missing anything, any pairs. I think what I'm going to do now is to take some time and go column by column, row by row, just make sure, I'm not missing the one and only, the only one in a row or column. And this takes a little bit more concentration. Oh, got it. Okay, so if you look down at this column, this is the only 7. There's no 7 there, no 7 there, no 7 there, no 7 there. That's the 7. And every point, I feel like one move opens everything up, and then the puzzle's solved. I wonder if we're there. We'll see. Okay, quickly, could see that this is the 5. And again, because I just got a 7 and a 5, I'll usually, the first thing I'll check immediately is, did that open anything up for that number? See, got another 5. Do I have all 5s? No, I'm missing a 5. Oh, this and this. Oh, those probably aren't going to be solved till the end. Got a 6. Let's see, any new 6? No, but if we stay in this column, we have 3, 9, 3, 9, 3, 8. We know that's not a 3, so we know that's the 8. Got another 8. Oh, got a 4. Oh, I think we're getting close. I think we are getting close. This is what I love actually about the New York Times. It took me a while to like this auto candidate mode. I used to not use it, but also if you don't use it with New York Times, like if I was putting in numbers here, so like let's just pretend, oh, I did not mean to do that. Did I just get that right? Oh my god. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to show you something. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, let's just pretend I have a 5 and a 2 there. If I got a 2, let's see, what's the actual answer? Okay, so this is a 2. And the reason I know that is because that's the 4 and that's going to be the 2. But turning that off, let's say I put the 2 here, this doesn't change. And so it's really, really difficult to like, you don't want to go back and have to remove things. But when you do this, it does auto update. See, that just went to the 5. So the other way to me just doesn't make any sense to do that. Okay, you guys. We've done it. Got 2 more. There you go. Under 20 minutes too. Love it. All right, check back for more puzzles.